beyond imagination, beyond the understanding of time, beyond all thought that man has ever conjured up, there is the mysterious realm of the plot hole. As you can see, this purgatory of hell has had quite an impact on me. I haven't bathed, I haven't cut my hair, I haven't even shaven. This horrifying realm can only do so much to a man before it wears him insane. I hope you all appreciate the sacrifice I made for you.
Your red cherry cupcake vodka, sir.
Thank you, Carl. Okay, so the plot hole is not that bad. I dare even argue it's kinda pleasant. Has, cable TV, HBO, a king-size bed. The sofa's a bit tacky, but what are you gonna do? And I also know that a lot of you seem to think that I was a Muppet when in the plot hole. That was just a phase. Doesn't everybody go through that? Just me? Okay. Well, bottom line, I'm here, and it's pretty tough to do reviews when you're a plot hole. Especially your memory. I do find I get certain things backwards sometimes. But when you get down to it, I am still the essential same person I always was. And I still have a good recollection of all my favorite people. Such as Linkara, Todd, Stinky, Dopey, Doc. So it's pretty much intact. However, I have come across someone who has tried to do something very similar to what I have tried to do. An internet celebrity reviewing things for a mere 4 to 5 years. Pfft, what a loser. Well, I am here to expose this fraud for the fraud that he is. That's right. I am here to talk about his cinematic lack of an opus, Kickassia. Written, directed, and starring some guy called the Nostalgia Cricket. He comes up with an ingenious plan. Here's an idea. Take a ton of internet critics that do nothing but make fun of movies and have them make a movie everyone else can make fun of. Yeah, I can't see this backfiring at all. Is it an embarrassment? Oh, you have no idea. So, let's see the fruit of the internet's poorly put together loins. This is Kickassia. So we get a quick history on a little speck of land called Molossia.
It is run by a man named Kevin Barr, but through a strange loophole, it is technically considered a nation.
You know, this opening's looking a little familiar. I know! So this douche sandwich called the Nostalgia Cricket comes along and says he wants to take over Barr's acre of land. Why? Because 2 acres would have been out of their budget. He calls up all his fellow reviewers in a bit that probably goes on too long.
Yeah, what does "it's time" mean?
Get on the wagon, Phalis! It's the takeover of Molossia!
Hey, yeah, what's this "it's time" thing you're talking about?
Don't you know?
No.
And comedy ensues. Next. He gets them all in a hotel room where he explains his plan.
But it's only an acre of land! What can we do with an acre of land?
You know, there's another group of people that thought like you, Linkara, and they were called
Nazis! Are you a Nazi, Linkara?
No!
Because I don't want any Nazis around here!
No, I'm not a Nazi!
Now let me tell you about a group of people that didn't give up. They were called Nazis. Hey look, it's that joke everybody thought would destroy the internet, but now nobody gives a shit about. So what are you people? A Nazi? Or Nazi? Yes, let it be known that Nazis are not funny. Despite the fact that they make Jewish comedians rich, win a dick ton of awards, and make what's considered one of the greatest film comedies and Broadway musicals of all time. But aside from that, shame. So they attack Kevin Barr, who has clearly too good a sense of humor. But he's able to defend himself by, defending himself. So they try again, but this time they start loading up. Get your MP5s. Linkara, get your magic gun. Denzai, start wrapping berry and explosives. But not before this bit of confusingness.
You know, Spoonie, you would really help the team out if you were to, well, you know.
Summon him?
It would just be this one, Spoonie. Just this once and you can go back to normal. And maybe then I can stop doing my Batman impression. Where are they?
Normal? There's no normal. I don't even know what normal is anymore.
Sometimes we all need to give in to the madness.
Yeah, he's off to go get your Razzie Award. Alright, so the next morning they get dressed up in their battle gear, and they let loose on Molossia.
Look out! He has a demo version of After Effects!
But unfortunately, Kevin Baugh has a wooden cannon? Oh, correction, a wooden cannon that fires pixelated energy balls from Mega Man. But the team breaks through, which leads to the only convincing relationship in the entire movie.
This is it, Barry. At least you're dying for a good cause.
It was an honor to serve you, mon ami.
Yes, it's sad to see a Frenchman part with a bear he said a few minutes ago he'd gladly sacrifice.
Ow.
But we see that Kevin Baugh has in fact upgraded from After Effects to Photoshop-style lens flares. Hey! This unexpected effect apparently is so threatening that it scared Phalis to hide behind the shed, and then awkwardly enough disappear in the next shot. Maybe Canadians are just really fast runners. This leads to Lee, the guy who's always in a still picture, finally turning 3 dimensions.
Don't get me angry. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry.
Ah, yes, Bruce Banner, when he says that line, always turns into a giant green monster of death, where this guy can now move his arms.
Whoa! It's 3D Lee!
Fitting enough, I guess, Lee actually has the strength of the Hulk now, too, as he beats the shit out of Baugh and forces him to retreat. He puts on a disguise that doesn't really fool them, but he says they won, so they don't care. And a new government is formed in the renamed nation of Kickassia.
My friends, this is indeed a great day. We have given birth to a new nation!
Let's celebrate by putting our arms around Nostalgia Chick, taking them off, and then putting them back on in the next shot just to take them off again. In a scene that anyone with an attention span would say goes on forever, we see what all the new members of Kickassia do. And I mean all of them. The round guy, Smurf hair, Puerto Rican Carlton, Pepe Le Pew, and an obnoxious political knockoff.
Well, he is a maverick to say the least, but no matter what his decision might be and whatever we disagree on, I still stand right by him.
Yes, we've all seen the impressions, we've all made fun of her before, but I'm sorry, it's not fair. Michelle Obama is a lovely lady. She gets no credit. But no self-indulgent trite would be complete without the Papa Bear of self-indulgent trite, the Nostalgia Cricket.
Mr. Critic, would you say your diabolical plan is to take over the world?
Naturally!
Well then, would you say your plan is to one day conquer the galaxy?
Eventually!
Say, Critic, do you get a lot of pussy with that outfit?
Of course!
Thank you.
Still not letting that meme die, huh? Don't worry, in a few years, I'm sure this'll go the route of the Numa Numa Kid and the Dramatic Gopher. Don't remember those videos? My point exactly. But it turns out most of his time is spent just sitting around watching Hogan's Heroes. Probably trying to figure out how they could make lame Nazi jokes back then without people going apeshit.
All in favor say aye. Aye, motion passes, go away.
But a conveniently forced plot thread taps them on the foot, and it appears to be a receipt for 20 tons of dynamite ordered by who?
The Nostalgia Critic.
Wait, why is that a big deal? Wasn't Molossia covered in explosives before anyway? Could he just be boosting up security even more? You know, like get real cannons instead of wooden ones? Doesn't this actually make pure logical sense? Actually, in this movie, that is a reason to panic. Joe tries to tell Cinema Snob about what they found, as we see the Vice President is not all she seems.
How about I make you some tea there, Mr. President?
Why, yes, Mrs. Vice President, that'd be wonderful.
Whoa! Is that just a term, or was there an off-screen wedding ceremony we missed? I've heard of Vegas weddings, but Reno weddings? The poison doesn't work thanks to the power of stupidity, but that just allows the rest of the team to plot their own way of axing him off.
A whole lot of shit is going down, Snob.
Fortunately, Cinema Snob seems to be on the Cricket side, so he delicately breaks the news.
Everybody thinks you're nuts.
About as subtle as a guy who reviews porn would be. But he quickly finds out that crazy plans are often led by crazy people.
Discovered that the world is filled with nasty wasties. And a lot of those nasty wasties want what I got. So, if any of them tried to take away what I have, I'm not afraid to go down with the ship.
take everybody with me.
Wow, his acting coach Ren Hoek must be so proud of him.
It is not I who am crazy, it is I who am mad! Insert another crowded hotel room scene because Lord knows we haven't seen enough of those. And we see that loyal lackey Film Brain has been listening the whole time.
And they were talking about killing you, and they were talking about different ways of killing you, and the cinema snob was like, it's my plan, so I'll kill him. So I ran back here as fast as I could, but they saw me, so Superman broke in.
This is the Micro Machine Man. I'm gonna tell you all about this evil plan right here. I'm gonna tell you about how all these people over here are trying to take you and they're trying to sabotage you and they're gonna try and take you down. You better buy it because remember, it's not Micro Machine. It's not the real thing. So they arrest Snob and kick him out of the country, resulting in what I'm sure is the only use of Wagner we'll ever see in any of these anniversary specials.
Go! May the harshness of this world have no mercy on your soul!
Man, not since I reached into my pocket thinking I had a 20 when really it was just a gum wrapper have I been so emotionally moved.
He goes into his room and finds that somebody has redesigned it to look like his old reviewing headquarters. And that someone is... M. Night Shyamalan!
Mati.
Or Mati, that works too. Thus they have a competition. How many times can someone say damn it Mati versus how many times can someone do a Conehead impression?
Damn it, Mati!
It's totally gonna backfire!
Damn it, Mati!
But at what cost?
Damn it, Mati!
Are you willing to let down the people that got you here?
Damn it, Mati!
And not an ass munter!
Damn it, Mati!
You can't change your destiny! You can only choose to meet it!
Yeah, I'm sure that's the last of the planet suites I'm gonna hear in these specials too. So the rest of the group figures the only way to stop their fearless leader is to send in Spoonie as Dr. Insano. Oh, thank God, we could use some mugging in this movie.
Give in to the madness, Spoonie. Deep down inside, you know who you truly are.
No! I won't be able to!
Oh, Jesus, is he literally chewing the scenery? I think even the curtains credited themselves as Alan Smithy in this scene.
All right. I'll give in to the madness.
So he goes through a transformation that makes Sailor Moon's look like a minor headache, and we see him turn into the evil Dr. Insano. And what's this evil genius going to do? Well, I'm sure he's gonna build some gigantic bomb, or put together some diabolical poison to destroy him with, or... donkey punch him and throw down WrestleMania. Was Insano always known as a fighter? Did he get in fisticuffs often? Well, I guessed he must have, because they wouldn't throw him into hand-to-hand combat just to lose. So then what happens? They throw him into hand-to-hand combat so he can lose. Oh, for God's sakes, can someone just go beep beep every single time a plan fails? But hey, this is a Channel Awesome production. Aren't there any pointless cameos in the future? I mean, aside from the fact that this whole thing is a collection of pointless cameos when you get down to it.
Santa Claus, we all love you.
Well, that's one less running joke we can cross off the reviewers list.
Wait a minute. Isn't Santa Christ made out of the hopes and dreams of people everywhere?
I thought he was made out of the need to insult several religions at once.
Come on, people. Let's show what it truly means to believe.
So, whatever story we were going with before has suddenly taken a back seat to rip off Peter Pan, Care Bears, and whatever other children's story would be ashamed to be referenced in this.
We believe in Santa Christ. We believe in Santa Christ. We believe in Santa Christ.
So they chant his name over and over and over, and just as you'd whimsically expect, it doesn't do a goddamn thing.
Told you it wouldn't work.
Okay, so returning to the plot. They decide to let Linkara take control of the situation. But first, he has to put on his battle attire.
It's too geeky! It's too geeky!
This calls for a detour away from the plot.
Just assume that Northern Europe here is a government house.
I thought you needed dice for this.
Do you?
I don't know.
How do you play this game anyway?
No, guys? Glad you asked. You got your deck of 56 risk cards, 3 red dice, 2 white dice, 6 sets of colored armies, and of course your game board, because every board game has a game board.
Hey, that's good to know. Thanks, Board James.
Well, thank you for the, obligatory cameo.
Oh, it's okay. The NC has ridden your coattails enough. So they get their plan together and go after the man who never really had a plan.
Critic, you magnificent bastard, I read your book!
Book? He can barely write a screenplay. What chance does a book have? Ah, they're using the explosions that always leaves the ground without being the least bit damaged. Subtle. So they nixed the old plan of just beating the shit out of him in favor of a new plan of just beating the shit out of him. Mrs. Vice President, seriously, what was up with that? Tries to take the post for herself, but it turns out everyone is just as greedy as the next. Well, obviously the only thing that can solve this is a biblical second coming.
Santa Claus!
Or an idiot in an offensive costume.
On the third day I rise again, in fulfillment of the awesomeness.
Everyone who saw that coming? Yeah. Hey, come on, we have enough camera whoring from Spoonie already. So Santa Christ convinces them to give Mr. Baugh his land back and even forces the Nostalgia Cricket to apologize. Let's make an obscure reference to the ending of Home Alone that nobody will draw a connection to. Now, if only he was really hurt as bad as Joe Pesci was in that movie. So, any lessons learned?
No.
Any points made?
No.
Any reason that this should have happened at all?
No.
Welcome to a complete waste of money, kids! You'd probably be better off just throwing it on a fire so you can inhale the fumes that would make you hallucinate something better than this. Seriously, what can you say about a movie that I guess is supposed to be about nothing? It's like if Seinfeld had cheap explosions in it. I don't know if I'm supposed to laugh or pity the hour and a half I just lost. But don't worry, even bigger waste of time is on its way. So the Nostalgia Cricket's reckoning is far from over.